It's time for Justice for the People with Pastor Charles Bennett. Justice for the People, exploring issues involving corruption and injustices in the Tri-Cities. The opinions expressed on this program are those of the guests and Pastor Bennett, and not necessarily those of the moderator, management, staff, or advertisers of WHAP. Here now is Pastor Charles Bennett and Justice for the People.
We have with us today a tremendous man here. He's excited about what's happened to the car dealership business in general. His name is Floyd Francis, and you're part of the Roundtree Pontiac family. You married into the family, and Roundtree Pontiac has been around since 1956. And I bought a car right from there. In fact, Riley Ingram owned it and traded it in. And I happened to be on that lot looking at those cars, and I bought a Granville down there. And I'll tell you, one of the best cars, it really is the nicest car I ever owned. I like the style, the lines in the 1970s. I think it was a early 1970 model. I probably bought it in 72 or 73 or 4. But I'll tell you what, that car was wonderful. My experience of buying at Roundtree Pontiac was wonderful. I was not high pressured. And here's the thing, as I thought about talking to you today on this program, here's the thing that gripes me more than anything else. I heard a man the other day from a local dealership say there's no excuse for them shutting down all our dealerships. There's no excuse for it. And here I thought to myself, for the last 25 years we've been told, don't flee the downtown. Keep the downtown up. Redo the downtown. And yet, when people like Roundtree Pontiac that are committed to staying downtown, when they do what's best for the community, they didn't flee and go out to Interstate 95. They didn't go to 85. They didn't go to the Motor Mile. They didn't go up to Richmond. They didn't go some other place. When they did what they thought was the best for the community, here, your legs are cut out from underneath you. Francis, good to have you on our show today, Mr. Francis, and tell us what your thinking is in reference to the first point that I'm bringing out today, that here you were doing the best you could to stay downtown, to make downtown viable, and you feel like you got slapped. Is that right?
Thank you very much, Charles, for inviting me over here today. And we want to thank you. A good testimony on Roundtree Pontiac. We appreciate your business. You buying the car. And Woody, a fellow musician here sitting to my left, has bought 3 cars. We'd like to also, Roundtree, thank him for his business and service and parts. And I've got some disappointing and disturbing news I want to talk about today. But first of all, let me tell you the good news. Roundtree Pontiac GMC truck, Mitsubishi, has been in business since 1957. We are located at the foot of the Martin Luther King Bridge. I can lob a softball from the corner of my lot onto the Martin Luther King Bridge. And I can tell you this, if he were here today, he would not let it stand what has happened to us. But first of all, I want folks to know that Roundtree is open. We're open for business. It's business as usual. We got great deals on used and new cars and trucks, Mitsubishis, Pontiacs, and GMC trucks. We will be here for you. General Motors is going to stand behind the warranties on these cars for 100,000 miles or 5 years.
So wait a minute. So even though Pontiac is not going to be built anymore, the warranties are still good?
That is correct.
Do you have Pontiac still on your lot?
We do. We have approximately 25 to 30 GM products left on our lot that we got on clearance. We need to move them out. And the reason being, and this is news that's just coming out on HAP, it's just come public today. We'll go forward with it with the newspapers. We've contacted Doc at WRVA and some other stations to go forward with this. We feel like you were talking about injustices, Charles, that we have really been served injustice and unfair treatment.
Unfair treatment from General Motors?
From General Motors.
Government?
From General Motors, with the corporation, maybe with or without the government. If you give me a moment, I'll explain. We feel like that they have, first of all, they have coerced us into signing what's called a wind down agreement. which we signed against our will because they said if we did not sign this agreement, they would throw us into the bankruptcy court and terminate our business immediately, which is forceful and it is wrong and it's unjust.
You were told that you had to sign what now?
A wind down agreement, which means we will be able to stay in business through October of 2010 selling Pontiac GMCs and servicing Pontiac and GMCs, in which that is wrong. Now, I might mention, we feel like it was due to socioeconomic conditions and reasons because we're on the poor side of town, and that's wrong.
Sure.
That's wrong, and it needs to be reinstated. I contacted Randy Forbes' office yesterday. He's emailed me back. He's working on it. I've contacted Mark Warner's office, which I'm not real satisfied with what's going on, but I hope they're working on it. I've called, I've sent a letter to Barack Obama, no reply. I've sent a letter to Vice President Joe Biden, no reply. I've sent a letter to Senator Shelby, no reply. I've sent a letter also to many congressmen, Senator Snow. I've sent a letter to Mark Warner. I've sent a letter to General Motors appealing what they have done to us. And we feel like this letter that we sent was not even read because they sent us this wind down agreement and made us sign it.
We're gonna take a station break. When we come back, this is just the wind up on what we're getting ready to say, folks, because what you're gonna hear next is gonna blow your mind right after these messages.
Peanuts and wine may sound like a strange combination, but
South last night before they did COVID.
Yeah.
That urban renewal thing, you see, that's what.
I feel like Strohsteiners, they thought they were gonna lose too.
Yeah.
They came this close.
You want this off the
doing
record?
right.
No, they won't.
Well, you want this off the record? You want to keep it on?
That's fine.
All right.
They ain't gonna do him right in the long run.
Yeah. Oh, they're gonna bust you. Yeah.
The stuff he's gonna be signing for these people, it took him 100 lawyers to write this thing. It's so dead.
But you do have till October. Now where you gonna get, wait, you can't
Yeah,
get
but see,
Pontiac.
they virtually put me out of business because I can't order no O10s.
You can't order Pontiac either.
No, and I'm gonna tell you about that too. Pontiac line has been GMC. I got.
He had a lot full of GMCs a month ago, and now he sold them all, can't get him. How's that gonna help him get her?
Now I got something to tell them about the Attorney General's office. I've been in touch with them too. I got something to tell them about that.
I'm gonna tell you something. I
I
wouldn't
ain't
vote.
never seen
I wouldn't
nothing
vote
like
for
it.
McDonald. The Attorney General's office
They won't even call you.
is not.
They ain't functioning. We're gonna give them.
I called the Attorney General's office from
Bill
the radio
Mills.
show. They will not. You can't get past the secretary.
No.
No, they just got a position, but drawing the money. And they
Painting
can't
and
log it
carpenter
to
work
go.
not high on your like to-do list? Give Patrick Hennessy at New World Construction a call at